How do we keep our enthusiasm as we attempt to grow spiritually and emotionally? As we get older and older in our life, should we feel depression and despair that our life is almost over? Or is there a way to feel excited about each and every day? My topic today is a mystical search for the meaning of crayons and white paste, the first day of the first grade at age 56. I don't really remember the first grade. I certainly don't remember my first day. I do remember the first day of attendance at many different schools as I grew up. Not the specifics, just the general nervousness of walking down a hallway toward a homeroom that was filled with kids I didn't know who would probably persecute me because I was new, nerdy, and shy. I didn't like school and retreated at the end of each school day as fast as I could back to the bunker of my room where I read books and escaped into the worlds of Raphael Sabatini and Howard Pyle, Arthur Conan Doyle and Robert Louis Stevenson, and hundreds of other authors over the years. The ladies at the old Portland Public Library were probably fascinated by me, or at least amused, since I took out books by the grocery bag. Books were my real school, the school I loved, and the school that gave me a love of learning. I still read extensively, although now I read nonfiction books on spirituality and mysticism instead of stories of adventure. Of course, mysticism is the biggest adventure of them all, which brings me to my subtitle. When I was 56, as I was reflecting one day about life and growth, I felt like I was back in school, back in the first grade, seated at a narrow little writing desk, staring at an array of crayons and paper and jars of white paste. Yet on that particular day, I was enjoying the first day of the first grade at the age of 56. I was excited to be staring at jars of white paste, the kind that doesn't smell good and tastes even worse. I was delighted to be picking up a box of crayons and thrilled that perhaps I would be able to write my name. Years later, I feel the same. I'm inspired and enthusiastic that life, and especially a mystical and intuitive life, feels exactly like the first day of the first grade, at least to me. I'm excited that there's so much to learn. I want to scribble wildly on spiritual construction paper with crayons that have such interesting names like Atomic Tangerine and Jazzberry Jam. For me, life has been a long process of finding out who I am and what I love. I feel rather like a man who was covered in honey and rolled in flour across the years of my life, collecting bits and baubles and dabs of dirt all the while, and then dumped in the desert, completely naked, with the decree to figure it all out in my own good time. Washing all of that off is a very arduous and confusing process. It takes a long time just to see the actual skin of one's elbow and murmur, "Oh, that's what my elbow looks like. With so much detritus sticking to my body, it's been very easy to become distracted by dozens of conflicting desires. What do I really want in life? Yes, love. But what kind of love are we talking about? A new car, that doggy in the window, or money, to paraphrase Paul Sorvino's character in the movie Oh God. I do like shiny new cars, especially Jaguars, as the Brits would say, and vehicles of that fancy class. Sigh. Oh, to be James Bond, without the girls or the license to kill. But I'm not Bond. I'm just Brown, an ordinary name indeed. Still, even though we may have ordinary names or feel entirely humdrum in every respect, I'm now convinced that we're each extraordinary. After washing off a variety of bits of flour and glop, I gazed at myself in some surprise and discovered that God lives inside me, and in fact is me, for God is all there is, according to the tenets of New Thought. I like that idea very much, although I have to admit that I sometimes find it hard to wrap my mind around the fact that God is also the glob. But if everything is energy, which is neither created nor destroyed, but simply converted, I suppose there could be something to the idea that God is everything, even smelly, unmentionable bits of stuff. It is indeed mind-stretching, especially for a first grader. I don't agree with everything that New Thought teaches, but to consider the idea that God is all of me and I am part of God, yes, the merest bud or twig, is a momentous epiphany. To sense the brilliant light and heat of God streaming from my golden core, pushing its way past the layers of accumulated barnacles and seaweed clogging my pores, is a breathtaking discovery. To feel that every person in the universe is the same, a different bud or twig, but all part of the same God who lives inside each of us, creates a feeling in me that life is huge, with quite literally no horizons and no real boundaries between people. I feel exactly like a person who has climbed up the wall of a secret garden and gazed at the beauty inside before falling back to the ground outside. I keep climbing back up the wall and breathing in the lovely air, and have done so for years. I've managed to clamber over and lie back amongst the daffodils, drinking in the scent of the lilac branches overhead. I've never found anything more entrancing than God's mystical realm of love. Thus, I have excitedly decided that I'm privileged, yes, privileged to have entered the first grade. My first day, sitting in front of crayons and jars of white paste, has been a long first day. For all I know, it might actually last 1,000 years. I don't mind, because the newfangled crayons actually have the scent of daffodils and lilacs and remind me that part of me, the most important part, has always lived in the secret garden. It will take me many grades to get there, but one day I'll be able to stay in the garden all the time with all the other graduates from the gardening school of mystical love. What a lovely thought. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at @Falkenbrown and email me at peterbrown@worldcommunity.com. I invite you to subscribe, leave a comment, click on the like button, and share this video with 2 or more friends. I also invite you to become a patron of the arts and join the Love, Freedom, and the World project by going to our crowdfunding platform at patreon.com/Peter Falkenberg Brown. Each level of contributor will receive a unique type of reward as our way of saying thank you. By contributing as little as $3 per month, you'll become a team member and will be able to provide valuable suggestions for new video topics and brainstorm new ways to reach a thirsty world with words of love, beauty, joy, and freedom. I am very grateful for all your support. I could not do this without you. So until next time, love and blessings, and thank you.